Hello, this is Sue. Welcome to Yin Yoga at Soma Care Wellness Center online. I hope that you're enjoying our online classes. This one happens to be my favorite, Yin Yoga. And no better time than the present to learn how to let go of the past, let go of expectations of the future, and just practice being in the moment. We love you all out there for watching, and I'm blessed to have you here. Blessed to be breathing. And that's what we're going to practice while we take care of our bodies. So for this class, what you'll need is a strap, and the best resourcefulness of a strap would be like a long piece of cloth or a belt. Let's call it a belt, and then you'll know how to get a strap. Maybe it's a scarf, one of those long scarves that people wear around their necks. And another thing to bring would be maybe a block or a book. So I'm going to grab one of our blocks here. So a block and a strap. First thing you're going to do is bring yourself into child pose, which might just mean you literally just have nothing underneath you, and you just get on the ground, on your knees, drop down into a ball, bring your big toes to touch, and just for helping with our lower back and upper back, especially that hard to reach upper middle back, spread your knees wide with your big toes touching, and see if you can drop your chest, torso, and belly between your legs towards the ground, giving that nice little back bend in the spine. And even if it doesn't look like it's a back bend because you're not looking in a mirror, it just feels like you're less forward bending and using gravity as the biggest prop for Yin to allow the spine, like a hammock, to drop forward instead of rounding backward. And this is just going to take time. The arms reaching forward or maybe bending the elbows a little bit, so it's not so extreme across the front of the chest. Maybe you bend the elbows. And if the forehead isn't on the ground, you might want to bend them a little more. Stack your fists and place your third eye, that place between the eyebrows, and if you could go 1 inch back, right up to your second knuckle of your index finger. Your third eye happens to be very close to your pituitary gland. That third eye helps us see inward. Maybe that's what we need, is just a little bit of inner seeing, inner care, inner space clearing. So stimulating that place right between the eyebrows. And while you're here in child pose, take a deep breath. Deep breath in and out of your nose. Over your life as a practice for the next 25 minutes. It's not going to be easy, but most things that aren't easy can really help us learn, help us grow. I know it should seem easy, but pretty soon you're going to start fidgeting, start getting a little antsy, start thinking about the past or the future. As soon as that happens, begin again. I know it sounds pretty simple. Begin again. It's not easy. You have to begin again breathing deeply, because you don't breathe deeply normally. So I want you to begin again focusing on your deep breathing. You don't have a lot of time. I mean, a half hour is going to go just like that. So really Really indulge in this practice. You have another 20 seconds before we move into the next pose. So that could be just a 10-second inhale, fill up your lungs, and then 10-second exhale. Empty your lungs. Beautiful job. Find your strap, belt, scarf. Lay on your back. And once you lay on your back, bend your knees so your feet are flat on the ground. Bend your right knee a little bit more towards your chest and take the strap and wrap it around the ball of your right foot so that the ends of the strap just kind of dangle. My right knee is bent. And then start to bend the right knee a little bit more until it stops bending, and then that's called your personal best. I'm trying to keep the right foot above the right knee. I'm trying to bring the right knee towards my right chest. And those of you who are familiar, this is a half happy baby pose. And sometimes people are a little more loose in the hip area on the right side, and they have to move their right knee over to the right so the right kneecap can touch the ground next to their right ribs. You know, it's just so very unique. And it could just be just how the world is affecting you right now, and all of the current events and all the past events. Like you're just trying to breathe in the moment. Now with the right knee bent, maybe you can reach up and grab the outside of your right foot, the pinky edge. But if you can't, that's why the strap is there. So you can hold on to the strap with that right hand. And if you want to straighten that left leg, go for it. That would take it from happy baby pose, half happy baby, to an actual lunge pose. And that's if I turned you upside down. You would actually say, hey, that looks like a lunge. And breathe here for another 30 seconds. Opening up across the right hip. And if the left leg is straightened out, a nice little stretch across the left hip flexors. Breathe. And then noticing where your right big toe is, just notice, there it is, above your right knee. See if you can reach up with your left hand and grab the straps that are hanging there with your left hand, or if your left arm is really long, sometimes you can grab the instep of your left foot, keeping the right knee where it is. When I say your left foot, I meant your right foot. Take your right big toe over towards your left shoulder. Towards your left shoulder. And the challenge is to keep that left foot up in the air versus bending, said the left foot again, keeping the right foot up in the air versus bending that right knee acutely so that, you know, it's more of a deep knee bend versus keeping that right knee at a 90-degree angle and just rotating the right thigh bone, moving the right foot across your chest towards the left. Breathe. And those of you may recognize this as pigeon pose, half pigeon pose. But really like dissecting the connective tissue and the body parts that bring us there. We're not just letting gravity do it. You actually are more gravity than gravity right now, because you're gently encouraging the right shin bone over towards the left, kind of like a sundial, but you're not moving the right knee. All you're doing is worrying about breathing, really. Breathe deeply. Enjoy, even more than enjoy, appreciate this moment. Especially if you're feeling something. That means you're alive. We have these feelings in order to kind of school us on where to be in this pose. So it's not what it looks like. It's more of a feeling of, that's right. I'm not pushing, forcing, or judging. I'm being gentle. And it sounds that way because of my deep breathing. Now slowly re-straighten that right leg. So the strap kind of slides through your hands. Hold on to the strap with that right hand, both straps that are dangling. And then press into the strap, kind of taking up the slack. So the ball of my right foot is pressing into the strap. My right arm is straight. And then keep pressing into the strap as that right leg goes over to the right. At the same time, take that left arm over to the left. So my left arm is moving over to the left side of my space that I'm laying on. My right leg is moving over to the right. And I'm pressing into the strap, so I'm engaging the muscles. And once you get to the end point, your job is to hang out there and breathe. Not to look to see how far your right foot is towards the ground. You know what? And maybe the best thing to do is to look over your left shoulder. Just look over your left shoulder, away from where that right leg is. So it's more of what I'm feeling. I'm starting to feel that I'm protected enough, because I'm not jamming, I'm not forcing, I'm just letting go. Just enough that the muscles let go of my right leg, and I'm holding onto the strap with the muscles of my right hand. Those are the only muscles you're really using. Voluntarily. Involuntarily, you're breathing deep with your diaphragm. Your heart is beating. And maybe the only other muscle should be a big smile on your face, because you use a lot less energy smiling than you do fretting and frowning. Just another 30 seconds here. Let go. Let go of the need to be anywhere else but right where you're at. Safe in your own place. Finding a calm center amidst maybe an uncomfortable feeling right now. Because I can't even imagine that somebody would sleep this way. You know, you get more comfortable when you sleep. So this is more uncomfortable, and yet you're still breathing. Notice that as your power to stay calm. Press into the strap with your right foot. Use your right arm muscles, bring that right leg back up. Bend the right knee. Take the loop off of your right foot, and then put your right foot on the ground. Right knee is bent, and just wobble that right leg back and forth. Notice you're still breathing deeply here. And then keep that right knee bent, right foot flat, bend the left knee. Take that strap, loop it around the ball of your left foot. Notice you're still breathing here. Just moving very slowly. Bend the left knee. And because it's the other side, you might find the left knee doesn't go on the ground next to your left ribs. Maybe your left arm is longer than your right arm. I've heard that if you're left-handed, it would be shorter than your right arm. But you've got to figure that out. You know, there's what they write down in the books, in Gray's Anatomy books, and then there's what you discover. Once you discover your place, hang out with your left ankle above your left knee, maybe straighten the right leg. Let the right arm just drop over to the right. Left knee moving down towards the ground to the left side of your mat. And breathe. Notice what you're practicing here. This is not a class called contortion at Somakura. We don't have any contortion classes. We don't have any, let me emphasize, thinking about yesterday or worrying about tomorrow classes. This is a Yin class. This is actually letting go. Breathing deep, practicing calmness. Nothing can be more beneficial for our health than that. Unless you want to send me a text or on our website saying, no, I have some other things that are better for calmness without side effects, just let me know. All right, we're going to take that left foot now, and we're going to slowly move the left foot, but it's not the left foot that's moving. All you're doing is actually rotating the left thigh bone and the hip socket joint. So it looks like the left foot is moving over towards the right. Left knee is staying where it is. Left knee 90 degrees. Left ankle 90 degrees. And I'm breathing deep as I move into half pigeon pose. Or an external rotation of the left femur bone in the hip socket joint. I didn't even have to tell you the names of those. You're just like, I feel it right there. As soon as you feel it right there, wherever that is, your job is done. Your movement is done voluntarily. Now you just hang out, and involuntarily what's going to happen is your fascia starts to unwind, unravel. So it's nice to have not much to do. That's what Yin affords you. I don't have to get anywhere. I just have to find my edge and hang out calmly. Another 25 seconds. Breathe. Deep, deep breathing. I know this seems like an odd suggestion, those anatomy folks out there, but see if you can breathe right into the feelings you're having, the physical feelings. Because that's so anti-anatomy, it's because like I only breathe into my lungs. I want you to focus, not to be distracted by your feelings, but just listen to them. And then breathe as if you're trying to breathe in unison with your feelings. slowly start to morph out of this pose by straightening that left leg. The straps kind of slide through your hands until you get to the end point where the strap stops moving. And then maybe you take up the slack by straightening that left leg more, pressing into the ball of your left foot, and then wrapping the strap around your hand. Press into the strap more as you take that left leg over to the left, right arm over to the right, and not measuring at all. Not judging at all. More or less paying attention to this moment on purpose, without judging it. I think it was John Kabat-Zinn that, I don't know if he had that phrase quoted, but so that's the form of meditation that we're taking. Maybe glance over your right arm, flex your left ankle, and a few of you, and there's probably a few out there, maybe because this video is reaching more folks, and some people just have, a looser hip joint, and you can bend that left elbow and start to bring your left shin bone toward your left ear bone. So you can feel the same thing that tighter people are already feeling. A subtle sensation, which is what we're trying to work with. Sensation. That's your body's wisdom. Because God knows you probably shouldn't do what I suggested if you're already feeling it. We only have 10 more seconds. See if you can let go in this pose. Everything. Activate through the ball of your left foot, press into the strap, lift that left leg, bend the left knee once that left foot is over your head. Take the strap now and wrap it around both of your feet, right where the toes meet the feet. Your knees are probably bent to do that, but eventually maybe you can straighten your knees to whatever feels comfortable, which might not be much at all. Press very vigorously your sacral bone into the ground. That's going to use some core muscles, just for a little bit, so you can feel your sacral bone all the way up to your head bone, which includes all those things called your vertebrae. They press down into the ground. Because some of us, we like, oh, I can forward bend, and then your sacral bone lifts off the ground. You get some airspace underneath your lower back. So instead, press your lower back down, which your ego is going to hate. Because, we've seen the pictures, the Instagrams, the covers of yoga magazines, which are not you. They're airbrushed, green screened, computer images. And even if the person can do that pose, you can do your pose by just listening to your lower back and pressing it down. So we're isolating the reason why our back bends is because of our tight hamstrings. And we're only here for another minute. Breathe. Keep pressing the backs of your knees towards the wall at the other side of the room, beyond the backs of your knees, way over there. You press, simultaneously pressing your lower back into the ground. Please breathe. These are all just suggestions. you can find your place, your edge. Last 10 seconds. Start to bend your knees. Release the strap. Ready? Throw it away. All right, it's Shavasana time. But before Shavasana, sometimes after that forward bend, with your knees bent, feet flat, just lift your hips up. Wiggle, waggle your hips side to side. And then find your Shavasana pose. It can be the knees stay bent and you just let the knees drop in. Arms wide, backs of the hands flat against the ground. Or straighten your legs out. Feet flop open. Eyeballs dissolve into their sockets. And you allow your jaw to unhinge. Let it all go. Recognizing this time as a gift you just gave yourself. A time to restore, a time to calm, a time to kind of maintain some order around you. When we create that order, that calmness around us, you find that calmness permeates. You find the magic returns. And you recognize it's not even magic anymore. It's always in you, and all you need to do is tap into that magic. It's these simple tasks of practicing daily, letting go, letting go, letting go. Namaste.